Christmas is the season of giving. It is a season of laughter, merriment, and cold nights with warm conversations and friends. However, this time around, it was the calm before the storm. I'm a Christmas tree. 10 years ago, a doctor planted me in the hospital's green space in New York City. For many Christmases, I represented the joy of the season, but the Christmas of 2019 was different. It was my doctor's last day working at the hospital before his retirement. After 40 years of helping people through the most difficult times of their lives, he was leaving. As a Christmas tree, I observe all that goes on in the hospital. People come in and out, and occasionally an ambulance will drop by. This is my life, until one day, everything changed. The street was empty. All was eerily silent. I had heard people talking about a virus from Wuhan, China, that was reaching out its infectious claws to thousands more each day. At the hospital in which I lived, doctors and nurses began to wear masks more often. Then they started to wear protective gowns and distance themselves from one another. More and more patients began to flood in. Soon, lives were lost to the disease. Doctors stifled their sobs as they chose who got to live and who got to die. Nurses coughed in their masks and joined their patients in isolation areas. Ventilators were scarce, yet they whirred constantly. Patients lined the hallways as doctors scrambled into room after room. The dead's families were given 2 hours to take the body out, and soon after that, the still warm beds were rapidly filled with new patients. The government called for help from more medical professionals, and to my surprise, my doctor came back. Although he was quite old and frail, he joined the war against the virus. For weeks on end, my doctor was sealed in the hospital, treating patient after patient. At the end of each extended shift, he would sigh and rest for some time, sitting beneath my bow. On many days, I observed him as he walked to his car, but his car never left the parking lot. He would sleep in his car at night, shadowed by the fear that he could spread the virus to his family. Then, for the first time in an entire month, I haven't seen my doctor in a week. I am terrified for him. I can imagine him coughing in his mask, wheezing. I can imagine him hooked onto a ventilator, kept alive by a tube down his throat. I can imagine his wispy gray hair peeking from beneath the white sheets. I can imagine his body being carted out of the hospital, his second home for the majority of his life, in a body bag. In the face of this pandemic, nurses and doctors are selflessly fighting through their fears and fatigue. As a Christmas tree, I saw the ups and downs. But at the end of the tunnel, there will always be a light. When this darkness is over, I will remember their sacrifices for as long as I live. The doctors, nurses, and all essential workers must be remembered for their courage and determination. They are the heroes of COVID-19.